Hi everyone, Jim Bartles here once again from Fort Myers, another one of our broadcasts from Spring Training 2018. Dave St. Peter, president of Minnesota Twins, is with us, and we've had the pleasure of being able to talk to Dave for several years in a row, and gives us some good straight answers to a lot of fun questions. So we've got some ready to go again, and we'll start out right now. Dave, first of all, the easy one. Everybody's unbeaten going into the regular season, but your thoughts on this year's Twins roster and the chances for success?
Well, first, welcome. It's great to see you and everybody back down here in Fort Myers as we get ready for the 2018 season. So we're excited. I think that, the 2017 season was a turnaround year for our club on the field. It was also a year of transition off the field as Derek Falvey and Thad Levine really built out infrastructure around what we think is the foundation to a long-term period of success. But as we come into 2018, now expectations are higher. And I think what's great for the Twins and our fans is not only do we have a young core, a nucleus that we think is going to do special things, but we've been able to add to that. We've been able to address areas of need, our bullpen, our starting pitching. And I think that we go into the season with the addition of Logan Morrison having one of the better offensive clubs in the American League. All of that's on paper. We haven't played a game yet. We haven't lost a game. We haven't won a game. But I think we all have great confidence that 2018 is going to be another fun season for the Twins.
There were a couple changes on the coaching staff,
Yep.
and maybe just a little comment about that.
Well, we added Derek Shelton as our bench coach. Derek comes to us with a wealth of experience, most recently in Toronto, but also had been the hitting coach down in Tampa. Tremendous organizational skills. I think he's going to be really helpful to Paul Molitor. I think Paul will tell you that. And is going to help us in a lot of different areas of our organization. Beyond that, Garvin Alston joins us as a first-time Major League pitching coach. Comes to us most recently from the Oakland Athletics organization, and Garvin is a guy that's going to grow in this job. Admittedly, it's people might watch, why didn't they hire a more experienced person? We interviewed a lot of different folks. We thought Garvin was the right fit for the Twins, and we think he has a special way of connecting with young pitchers. And that's going to be important in Minnesota as we try to ultimately build an organization that's founded on the development of young arms coming to Minnesota and having success.
I mentioned before we started to Dave, I've got a couple of questions that I think a lot of fans are wondering about, so I'm going to get to the first one right now, and that's, all right, you've already mentioned, new GM, new VP last year, All-Star break. Oh boy, unfortunately, we had a rough road right after the All-Star break, but before then, we were buyers, and then all of a sudden we turned into sellers. And it appears the team said, "The heck with those guys. We're still going to make the playoffs," and they did.
Yeah, if we'd have known that, we'd have traded some guys before that, right? No, it's easy to go back and look at that and understand it. But you got to remember, we went through a really horrible stretch after the All-Star break. In addition to that, I think Cleveland, Kansas City, and maybe another team won combined like 25 games in a row. I mean, it was unbelievable. So we were finding ourselves, frankly, fading, and we were a distant third in the American League Central. So as you take a look at it and understand where we were, knowing that we're trying to build an organization here for the long haul, I think we thought at the time that the right move for the Twins was to try to move a couple assets to get young, controllable pitching. And over time, history will judge whether that was the right move or not based on the guys we got back in those trades, guys we feel very, very strongly about. But I do think our club, our team, to Paul Molitor, our coaching staff, Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, and a host of other guys, I think that they did take it upon themselves to go out and no excuses. We're still going to do what we can to get to postseason play. And obviously history will show that they were able to do that. We were able to do that as an organization. So it's a fair question. People might say, what would have happened differently had you kept those guys? That's fair. We'll never know. I'm not sure it would have made any difference at the end of the day. I'm not sure that either one of those guys would have stemmed the tide in New York at Yankee Stadium. But I think we made the move. I think it was the right move for the Twins. And again, long term, we're going to need more pitching, and that's what those moves were about.
I've never seen so many spring training moves in a spring training that I've been around. And so as you talk about Falvey and Levine, all right, well, they got Odorizzi. This is nice. And then a surprise, we got Logan Morrison, and gosh, we heard they were trying to do a 2-year contract with this guy by the name of Lynn. Okay, well, we go on. We're okay. And all of a sudden, holy smokes, Lynn gets signed as well. They did quite a job here on the late part of the free agent season.
Yeah, I give Derek and Thad a lot of credit. I think we were patient. We had a plan going into the offseason. We wanted to address pitching. We were looking out ultimately for a way to help our offense as well. But, we had to move early. The free agent market dictated that relief pitchers were coming off the board, and we ultimately were able to add 3 great arms there: Fernando Rodney, Addison Reed, and Zach Duke. And then beyond that, I think the starting pitching market obviously evolved. Everybody knows we made a run at Yu Darvish. It didn't work out. We were able to make a trade for Jake Odorizzi and then ultimately Lance Lynn. And we took advantage, I suppose, on some levels. The free agent market, the way it played out, allowed us maybe to get a couple guys that maybe we didn't think were going to be in play early on. I think both of those guys, both Lance Lynn and Logan Morrison, are examples of that. And the good news for us is they're here. They're happy to be here in Minnesota. They're thrilled to be playing at Target Field, and I think they're going to be huge contributors to the 2018 Twins.
Dave St. Peter is our guest. We're going to close out this segment. We'll be back with another. Dave, of course, the president of Minnesota Twins. When we come back, we're going to talk about Target Field. Always need to find out what's happening new. Did they add something? Did the food change? All those things. Any new promotions we should really be aware of. I want to ask a little bit about our friend Ron Gardenhire, who's now in the back in our division. And I'm going to ask him also, why did Santana not get that finger fixed earlier, and he's out right now? So we'll be back with more of Dave St. Peter right after this.